Hey, squad. Thanks so much for joining us. And I know a lot of people will watch the replay later, but so excited to get to hear from Carly. We got to see Carly at SFR this last year, and she's just fun and vivacious, and love that she caught some kind of fire. She caught something at SFR and had an amazing month last night. She was top PRV for our squad, which is over 600 and some people. She was number one and was over 3,000 some, right? I can't even
It was
remember.
45.
Oh, 45. Oh,
Yeah,
wow. I
a
was
little over
wrong.
45. Yeah.
4,500 PRV. That is a lot in 1 month. And that wasn't her norm. It's not like she is normally number one. So that's what I'm excited we get to hear from her. So Carly, tell us.
Yeah. So actually speaking on that, that it is not my norm. I looked. So the first from January to what, July, I didn't even do that in all those months total. So I like completely, and I don't know what it is I caught at SFR. It was something for sure because the month before, I think my PRV was like in the 600, 700. So still not bad. It was, but gradually going up, but last month was good. I don't know. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out what I caught at SFR, but it was definitely something. Um, but just kind of the biggest thing I think I did, I kind of went back through and looked at my month and if I had parties, if I had new customers, and tried to jot down. I do have notes because I'm a squirrel brain. So if you see me looking down, or I didn't want to forget something. So really, I went back to like the basics. My follow up back when so I guess let me back up. And I joined in 2019. I hit superstar consultant in 2020. So my first year it was hot. It was also during COVID. It was during, that boom that we had. And then I've been stagnant on the title part. And I did get discouraged back the last couple years. I mean, my sales were good. I've always been active, but I wasn't getting paid at title. And so that can be discouraging. I never gave up. I will never give up. You guys are stuck with me. But I went back to the basics because when I was doing my follow up, my numbers were good. My sales were good. My energy was good. Um, yes. Here's the kids I told you that would pop in. Um, my energy was like just I felt good. I stopped following up. I stopped looking for new customers, not on purpose, but just life got busy. I'm a special needs mom, so things got busy with her. Hey, I know you're hungry. Can you go get a snack? Things are busy with her. That's a new development over the last couple of years. So our life's completely changed. But I stopped doing all that stuff. So this month or last month, I guess, I got back to the basics. I got my follow-up binder out. I got back to that. So I do a one week, 1 week, 1 month, 3 months. So I went back, pen and paper, and I revamped it by making, and I'll post these, making these sheets. I used to use Post-it notes that said like follow up 1 week, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. I made these order forms, which you can't really see. I will post it, but they're just ones for me. I don't hand these out to the customers, but I made an area where it makes 1 week, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, so that I can easily just check those off. And then I move them to the next thing. So I got back to this. This guy goes with me everywhere. That has helped. I'm following up with customers, following up with Kayla, Jessica, and I made 1,500 samples on a Saturday. I sent them out. I wrote down who I sent them to, gave it a couple weeks, followed up with, hey, just checking to see if you got my mail. Some of them got lost because I did get a couple returns. That produced sales. So follow up is definitely key. People say it all the time. I wasn't doing it. Now I am. So that I think helped a little bit. But I also got out of my head on I was doing so good 2 or 3 years ago. Like, why can't I do that again? So I, after SFR, said, okay, today's day one. I took all those orders over the last 3 months and pretended like they just ordered. And I followed up with them. So kind of not just starting with the people that just ordered, but reaching back out to the people who had ordered and just be honest with them. Hey, life summer is crazy. I just want to make sure, your wax is good. This is good. Be honest with them. Life's crazy. Don't just go. And I'm not going in when I follow up for a sale. It is simply, hey, how are things? Are you ready for fall or are you still hanging on to summer? If they say, oh, I'm ready for fall, I'll be like, oh, hey, have you seen the new catalog? Have you seen the harvest? Are you an apple or a pumpkin? Just kind of get to know, because a lot of my customers, I don't know because they've just ordered or I've met them at events. I'm a big, big event person. I actually am prepping for one this weekend and one next weekend. Absolutely love events. I changed what I'm doing at events. So instead of the enter my raffle ticket thing that, people don't fill out all the time, you can't read their handwriting, all of that, I created a jot form. I have my iPad. Hey, can you go and fill out my raffle? I export that, import it into the Cincy system so that they're on my email list, import it into my email system. That way they are getting my blast, my communications. I'm also communicating with people multiple ways, the same people multiple ways. I try to do every other week emails. Sometimes it's weekly, depending on, if we have a release, if I have an event I'm doing. Those same people are also going to get a text. And I just personally text them. I have not figured out Project Broadcast yet. That intimidates me. But I just go through and I print off a export out of the dashboard or, our workstation and just mark them off. I'm a very big pen and paper person, but just trying different things, because we all know Facebook doesn't always show everybody everything when you post it. I've got things from a week ago that people are just commenting on, being like, hey, is this still available? Well, yeah, but some things, if it's a limited time offer, if it's bring back my bar, stuff like that, that's going away, it may not be available. So I post multiple times, like the same thing multiple times, maybe not right in a row, like every week or every other week I'll post it. Email, text. I'm completely not going by my notes here. But multiple ways, because the algorithm on Facebook isn't the best. I do use my Facebook group for all of my stuff. I'll post a few things on my personal page, just, hey, the harvest collection's launched, but I'm not really looking for sales on my personal page because that's more my personal page. And I created my Facebook group, so that people don't get bothered by it as much, because there are those people. But I'm also to the point now where I don't really care, because this is my life. And since he's going to be a part of it, so I've been doing both. What else? Reaching out to old customers. I actually just finished it, which I had to get a new binder because this one was full. I went through and it was very time consuming, but I do it, when we're watching TV. I made a sheet later, or these are all anybody who has ever ordered from me. And these are all ones I still need to put in a thing because I ran out of binder space. But my plan for this is when they order, they come out of here and they're going in my binder so that I know they're a 3-month thing. So eventually I want this to be very small because I want everybody to be in a 1, 2, or 3-month order form. But I went through and it's name, phone number, way I met them, which I'm still filling in some of this stuff, but right now I just did what their last order was. And then are they in my VIP group? Do they have club? Do I have their email? Have they hosted join Ripple? So eventually I want to be able to check all of those off for everybody. That I'm still working on. I just now finally got I don't know how many there was of these on paper.
Let me see.
But I'm trying new things until they stick. If they don't work, then I'm getting rid of them. So we'll see how that works. What else? Trainings. I have been addicted to training since SFR. YouTube, or that Active in August page, all those trainings they did there. I don't know if that kind of helped. Just I was in there more like my podcast. I'm way behind on those. I'm way behind on my books because I have been living in trainings, even ones from 3 years ago. That's still good information. The products they're displaying may not be relevant, but the information is. We're still partying. We're a party company. So those tidbits that they're doing are still very helpful. In the different, there's another group on Facebook. I cannot think of it, but they do a lot of trainings. Refine or something, refocus. They do a lot of good, and it's consultants just doing trainings, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, very good. I listen to them because most of them, all you have to do is listen to them. So I work in a corporate office and IT all day. 120. There's 120. Okay. I think there's more than that. But I have something in my ear all day long, and it's stuff I don't have to listen to or don't have to watch. I can just literally listen to it. The Cincy trainings that Cincy offers on Tuesdays, those are awesome. They're just, you register through them with on your Cincy workstation. They send you a link. It's every Tuesday at noon my time. So whatever time that is. Let me see what else. The biggest thing I think that really helped with my sales last month is I'm upselling. So last month was 10% off. I'm upselling. They want 2 bars. I'm not asking, hey, you can get 1 more and save. It's, you can get 5 and get 1 free. It's no more upselling to 1. And that has been a huge thing let me find it. At my events, let me see if I can find it real quick. 161. So I am a huge event person. Let me see if I don't know if I can find it real quick. I have a sign on my 160 on my, I have a pegboard I take to my events and hang my wax up. And I put a sign that says Cincy bars, buy 5, get 1 free, 6 for $30. I tested it at my last event. Not one person asked me how much was a bar. Everybody bought 6. Unless they were people I knew and they're like, oh, let me just get 1 or 2. Everybody who bought bars bought 6. So if you do events, try that.
Sign that says if you buy 6.
Yes. That's fine. She worked my last event with me, so but try that. I'm not offering the 3 bars anymore. It's, hey, 6. The biggest upsell I've had. So you guys have probably seen it, the Cincy Go Black promotion or, thing that everybody's doing. I need 10 people to test this. I posted that last week and had a lot of interest. One girl did it. So I was doing the Cincy Go and then they get a free pod. Because I already had an order going in that I could use my rewards for. So it's $35. She ended up having a party from her order and spent $335. That was with all the rewards that she used by just the 30. And it was funny because this was the girl I met at an event 2 months ago. So that's the only communication. She's like, wow, we really upped from $35. So it's just those little, and the only thing I did, I said, do you need anything else while we're placing this order? That's been my biggest response to people last month. I went back there and looked at my communications. Hey, I'm closing out this fundraiser for you. I did have 2 fundraisers last month. They weren't the best because these people were repeat fundraisers, but they were still good. It was still worth it for them. Still some new customers for me, hopefully. But I said, hey, I'm closing out this fundraiser for you. Do you need anything else? Yeah, spent $90 on a diffuser and oils and stuff like that. So it's just that asking, hey, have you seen the new fall catalog? Have you seen the harvest collection? Are you ready for fall? Just those simple questions really boosted my stuff last month. But I think my biggest tip is just keeping it simple. Don't compare what, especially after this, what I'm doing to what you want to do or what you can do. We've got some new customers. I have a brand new, I about said employee, a brand new somebody that joined. There was a Facebook post. Hey, anybody have a mini fan on hand? I said, yeah, I got one. Put it in her car. I don't even think she left my driveway. Hey, my car smells amazing. She joined my team that night. And she's rocking it right now. Like she's already hit shooting star within her first 6 days. Like she's awesome. But I can also see like the comparison happening. Like I want to be able to do what you do. I want to be able to have this room. So work with what you can. But go back to the basics would be my biggest thing. That's what I've done. And stop trying to do everything. The what else did I do last month? Oh, trying new things. I did a spin the wheel game night in my VIP page. I think I had 5 people join, and I can do another if you guys are very interested in this. I can do a very like just training on this because it was so much fun. In 30 minutes, I had 5 people join, which was fine because it was my first time doing it. I had 365 PRV. And it was the easiest thing. And I had 0 money out of my pocket. I used, which it was during the 10%, I used the prices that were on the Cincy website. So they thought they were getting a deal, but I was like, hey, like here's a car kit, which was a mini fan, a pod, and a car bar. Oh yeah, that's awesome. Or, you know, the 12 bars but it was really just the prices that are on the website. And I had 5 people join and it was just fun. So I can do a whole nother thing on that. I did one on on our group page, and it was just fun. I think I'm going to make it like a monthly thing. And people just join. It was a Facebook Live, and I think I just shipped one girl stuff, but I just ordered it from Cincy and they shipped it for her.
129.
130. But it's just trying new things. And if it doesn't work, just throw it away. Try something new. I think I went all over my notes. But I would say going back to the basics and follow up is what has really helped. And just being me. I'm trying to go live more in my Facebook group. I went live tonight because I got 3 boxes in the mail and just, hey, unboxing, like, hey, look, this is what people are getting. And especially when I'm unboxing host rewards, hey, this is what this person earned in my VIP pages. Sometimes it's me that earned that or that got that, but they don't know that. I mean, I'm still going to pay the same amount as my customer is going to. But just being really honest with my VIP page. Dylan helps me a lot. And so sometimes things are messy. Sometimes things are crazy, but it's just being authentic. I mean, we all know that, but I would say follow up, simple basics, and being consistent, letting people know that you're here and you are not going anywhere, because we all know those people that jump or are only here for, December or, November, like when it's sales. And then you don't know if they're a consultant anymore. You don't know if they're selling, whether it's us or Mary Kay or anything. So just being consistent, keeping things simple, getting out of your comfort zone, events. I love events. I usually do about 4 a year. I've already done 4 so far this year. I just went Facebook, asked for, look up events in my area and just asked, hey, are you guys still accepting? Do you accept Cincy? I've got a new one this weekend and a new one next weekend that's new to me. And then I've got my reoccurring ones. I've got one that I've done for 5 years now that I absolutely love that one. But just, I don't know, try new things. Ask, hey, what, and I'm an open book. Ask, hey, what did you do that worked? And I've been trying to share in our team page, like, hey, if you need PRV, like try this. This is what I did real quick. Try this. Just like I went live in our group and said, you know, there's 4 days left because we're doing active in August. There's 4 days left, but it's not just 4 days. Like you can hit that. Don't give up, whether it's you're trying to get active or you're going after 2,000 or you're got a bigger goal. 4 days is still 4 days. Like that's a lot of time to get
29.
130 again. But just don't give up. And if you need help or you need advice, ask. I will help as much as I can. I'm here to, I would rather other people succeed. That's why I want people to join my team. I would rather them get the free and half price and make their money back than me getting it. But I don't know. I'm just here to help. So any questions? Or I know I feel like I was all over the place.
It was great. I loved it. I have a whole page of notes.
Yeah, I feel like I feel like I missed notes, but
So it was really, really good. But does anyone have any questions? I know I was going to ask you when you were first talking, like you're like follow up, and I was like, well, what does she say? But you did tell us a lot of what you say. So
yeah,
I feel like you did answer that. That was one of my first.
yeah, I keep it very simple. And if it's somebody I don't know, I keep it very, very simple. Like, hey, you know, thanks for your order, but like, is there anything else? Or letting them know. I've got a lot of people who I've seen are ordering from parties that live. One girl just ordered and she paid for shipping and she literally lives at the end of my neighborhood. And so I'm like, hey, if you need anything, let me know. I do bulk orders. They can come here, and then she's ordered twice since then. So it's just being open with them. But yeah, just keeping it very, I keep it simple and short and not very wordy. That way you're not, even when people are trying to join, I'm like, let you ask me questions because I could talk it all day long. I could tell you everything, but I don't want to word vomit on you and scare you. And let you ask me what you need. And then, but just trying to keep those connections. Oh, and one other thing I was going to say about events, if you've done them or you're interested in them, I've had a few events that weren't sales wise very good, but I've made some amazing connections. So don't get so focused on, oh, you know, I only sold $30 or $100 because those connections are very good. Like the one I did earlier this year was outside. It was just a very small thing. It was so hot. And I was like, man, my goal is I want to make what I paid to be there is my goal. So, and that goal was, we'd been there for a while and I was like, I just want to make enough so I can go buy some Kona ice. Like I need to sell something so I can go get some Kona ice real quick. That event is where I met that girl that spent almost $400 and she did not buy anything that day.
Wow.
So it's those connections.
109.
110.
Not 109. 100.
But yeah, those connections are what will get you, or in networking with the other vendors that are there. I had somebody today message me back and was like, hey, they're a customer. Hey, are you going to be at any local events? Because they've ordered, but they're like, okay, yeah, we'll see you at that one because they have a booth there.
Store.
So it's just also making those connections. But yeah, don't get discouraged if you walk out of an event that, you know, you've been at for 8 hours and you've only made $100, because those connections could come back and make you more money later. I did want to say that.
So true. Good stuff.
I have a comment.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you when it comes to not to get discouraged on a sale. I had a lady that literally, and she's here in town, bought a $5 pack of bulbs. It cost her $10 for shipping and then sales tax. And she found me. So because I'm out there now, she found me on I think on the Scentsy website, because I don't know her as a customer. And I felt so bad, but I am going to send her a little something and tell her, hey, like in the future, reach out to me. You know, I know we've all been at that spot where we just needed $5 more to get us over that hump. And even though I didn't need that $5, I took it as a blessing that there will be someday that I need that $5, and it kind of already has been paid forward with that. You know, I felt bad for her. Like, I'm thinking, I didn't, man, that was like a $16 sale for $5 bulbs, you know, and I probably could have drove it to her, but okay. But I agree with you on not getting discouraged.
Yep.
My team is growing, and
What's that 2009?
I can, you know, I can, how that saying goes, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. So I did have one of my consultants hit 200 today. So I'm like, yay. It'll happen, but I appreciate you coming on. And I think the hardest thing is reaching out, following up. I think that is the hardest part, is following up, because for fear of, am I bugging them? Obviously they haven't reached out to me, so I feel like maybe they don't want anything. But yeah, that's probably my next big fear.
Yeah, and I'm at the point where I'm gonna follow up with them until they tell me to stop.
Mom, what's that?
Because I know how I am. I get squirrel brained, I get mom brained. Half the time that one has my phone. And so I may not see, I've got people I buy from, I may not see their message. Or I saw it and then, you know, I'm in the middle of work and it's like, oh, I didn't text them back. So I'm going to follow up with them, and I've gotten the stops. I've gotten the unsubscribes. So I just make a note on their tag, do not text, or, you know, they're still in my email. They're still in other ways I'm communicating with them, but I won't text them. So I just make notes. If you've used the Connect app, you can put tags in there. I just put a don't text tag. And so then I know when I'm doing my random follow-ups that aren't from orders, that are just, hey, the fall collection's out, I know not to text them because I don't want them, they may want Scentsy again in 6 months. And I don't want to, you know, not respect their don't text me message. And also spoil your host, or, you know, do what you can and kind of, you know, get to know your customers and stuff. I had a customer who, I know that they lost, like, they had a lot going on. She just did a fundraiser for me. She's orders all the time. I'm trying to get her to join. Like, she should join. Her and her family buy so much. And I know that they were having a hard time. Those, the spiders that were from last year that were in the clearance for like $2. I got a bunch of them, and her girls saw them at my last vendor event, because she comes and sees me at all of those too. And they were being crazy. So her order I packaged up last week, I threw 2 of them in there. And I was like, hey, I threw some extra goodies in there for the girls. Hope they loved them. Like, just those little bitty things, like knowing what your customers are going through, because a lot of my customers are friends now, and I wouldn't have known them without Scentsy. So just, I had them here. They weren't, I've taken them to events they haven't sold. They cost me like $2, and she spent way more than that. I just threw them in there. I'm like, hey, here's something for the girls. So just getting to know your customers also help, you know, is a little tidbit, or following them all on Facebook or whatever social media you use, and interacting with them then, and treating them more like friends and not customers, and just checking in helps too. But I'm just trying all the things this season.
I wanted to comment to your both, kind of all of you talking about the follow-up. And I love that you have your own follow-up system, or you've created from your binder to binder, because I think that we all hear that saying, oh, the fortunes and the follow-up. And I'm like, yeah, okay, it really is. And if you're not sitting down and following up, first of all, I used to not have a system. I just willy-nilly message people, but it doesn't work. I'll tell you that it doesn't work. So have whatever system works for you. But I tried the binder method, didn't work for me. That was okay. Now I do something different, but I'm pen and paper like you. But it is so crazy that you can sit down and pull out, like you said, you just mailed out fall mailers, pull out that list or your samples. You guys did your 1,500 samples. So pull out your list and say, here's these 100 people I sent to, I don't know. And all you're asking them is, hey, did you get your fall smell good mail for me? What did you think? You know, or something like that. You're not saying, do you want to buy something? But it's going to turn into, oh my gosh, yeah, and I need 6 of those, or whatever it may be. It's so crazy. Like I said, I used to laugh at it when people said that. But sitting down and spending I mean, I don't have to do an hour, 20 minutes following up, I can promise you that you're going to get some kind of order. So I love that you mentioned that about your follow-up, because you are so right. It's huge return on investment, I guess, and postage and all that stuff.
Yep. And my message to that was, when I asked if they'd received it, was, hey, did you receive it? Because I did get some back. And it was just like, oh, did you find something in there that you just have to have? And it was, oh yeah, I like this scent or that ghost. And it wasn't. And then I just kind of left it at that. I'm like, I am putting a bulk order, and if you see something you want, let me know. But that was it. It was just like, what did you find that you have to have? And be like, oh my gosh, I love that too. That was on my list. And I still have to get some of my list stuff, but yeah, just that. And I can do another training just on, now that I'm finally back in my follow-up system, like just on that, because I've tweaked it just a little bit, especially with those forms I made. Like I said, this binder goes with me everywhere. And when I'm with my husband in the car, I'm not driving. And so I'll whip it out and just do follow-ups in the car. And especially with the way I have it now, I can just go down and mark it off. And then, I've done my follow-ups in the 20 minutes it took us to get into town. So it's just taking those little pockets of time. We're in car line. Okay, let me text a couple people. And my goal is to at least do 5 follow-ups a day. Usually I do more, but some days are crazy. And I've been using my planner a little bit more, and I made like 3 things to do each day. That way it's the same 3 things. So on Mondays, I know I'm going to do these. On Fridays, I know I'm going to do these. I leave the weekends for catch up. And a lot of times, like, we'll be at the camper and I'll just take stuff. The kids are playing. Instead of me napping, I'm, let me just follow up with some people. So it's just finding when you can work pockets. You don't have to sit and work for 2 hours. Yes, there are times I do. Like right now, my dining room is full of packet prep for my vendor event. So I give out packets with all my information and some samples. And then I make kid packets with coloring, Scentsy coloring pages, crayons. So right now we're prepping these, but honestly, Dylan's doing most of it. And so just working when you can. But I'll do that for my events the rest of the season. So it's just bulk doing things.
And Carly, that you mentioned, I mean, you work, and just mentioning that you don't make excuses. I like that, because you could find every excuse in the book for yourself, for your family life, for everything you got going on. Like you said, oh, your husband ended up having to work or whatever, so you can't, and you still don't make excuses. And that's a huge thing, because so many people say, I don't have time. I don't have time. I don't have time. And it's very hard for me to believe that people don't have 20-minute pockets in a day to message those, like you said, you try for 5 people, because if you're constantly doing that, something, you'll see the fruits of that labor. Maybe not right then, but maybe, like you mentioned, the $300 lady later, it might not happen right then, but it will happen when you least expect it. And $4,500 in PRV doesn't come out of nowhere. It doesn't come from not hard work, from, not doing, I mean, like you said, in 6-7 months time, you didn't even do that much in sales. So, that just shows you what you're capable of, and you worked hard when you work hard for it.
So good. I think that's a perfect little summary there. We're about at half an hour. It goes by fast, right, Carly?
Yes.
It went by fast for us too. But thank you so much. I am intrigued about the wheel thing. So thank you so much for offering to give us other like trainings and stuff. I think that'll be really fun. And but the wheel thing, and I love your follow-up system. So there's so many ideas in my head. I'm sure everybody has some ideas. Be thinking of a couple things that each of you that you want to do and incorporate into your business, even just one thing. So I'm going to stop the recording. Thank you so much for those that were here live. It's so fun to see your faces and your names, and that those watch later. Thank you.